All right, this information will show you how to upload the Sdu file and how to complete it. So I sent you the Sdu template, and let's go ahead and enable editing if you see this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and expand this. So this is what the template looks like. Anything that has a sample information in, that field needs to be completed. So you're going to need your high school code, the last name of the student, the first name, the grade level, the date of birth, the student LSID, the test code, and it will either be multiple choice. It will always be multiple choice here, and the delivery format. So P is for paper, and then the letter O will be for online. So these are the required fields. So they gave you a sample to look at. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to do two of them here. So let's go ahead and enter your high school code. So 190250 is Woodlawn. So I'm doing Woodlawn High School. And then as a sample, let's say the last name is Dozat, first name is Michael, and then this, let's say, is grade 12. And then let's say the date of birth is 11/15/2004. So it's got to be in this format. And before I go on, let me just show you something. So if you click on the header right here, it will tell you what's required. So this is your 6-digit organization code. If you go to last name, it says this field must be 16 characters or less. Valid characters are A through Z, capitalized, A through Z lowercase. You can use a dash, and you can use an apostrophe and space. Okay. First name must be 12 characters or less, and then the same valid characters as before. Capitalized letters, lowercase letters. You can use the dash. Remember, some of the names are hyphenated. You can use an apostrophe and space. Leave the middle initial off. If you do use the middle initial, make sure it's just the middle initial without the punctuation mark. So don't if you put the middle initial, which is not required, make sure it's just a letter. Okay, so you would say J. But remember, that's not required. You're going to need the grade level here, either grade level 11 or grade 12. You're going to need a date of birth. Now, if you look at the information about the header, it says this: required. This field must be in month, day, and then 4-digit year, or it could be just one digit for the month, 1 digit for the year, and then the 4-digit year. For example, if you go to the next one and you say 07/03/2005, and then notice what it shows up. And that's fine. All right, you don't have to have 2 digits there. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete that part. All right, and then you need the student's LSID. So let's say the student's LSID is this: 26831888652. All right, and then the test code, you have to say multiple choice, and the delivery format, let's say, is online, so we'd use the letter O, not the number O, not the number 0, the letter O. Okay, so then you do your next one. Again, you must have the high school code listed, so 190250, and let's say this is Wells Mary, grade 12, and let's say this one is 08/05/2005, and notice how that appears. And then the LSID, let's say, is this: 864-789-5721. Multiple choice, and then let's say this one's paper. Okay, so remember, if these are accommodation students, you can do either online or paper. All right, so let's say this is an accommodation student, and the parent wants their child to take it paper-based. All right, so we're going to put P there for paper. Now, you're going to need to make sure you delete this sample column, because if you don't, you're going to get an error. So go back, highlight that row, and then notice I'm right-clicking, and then I'm deleting. So I've deleted that column. Okay. All right. Now, next thing I'm going to do is we have to save it as a CSV. So if I scroll down, you're going to, hopefully you'll see where, well, you're not, but you have to save this as a CSV file. So let's go ahead and do that now. So you're going to go right here and you see where it says file. So you're going to say file, save as, and then remember this, I made up some names here. So I'm going to go to the actual file. I'm going to pause this. Okay, so then you're going to go file, save as right here. Click on save as. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, save as. Then you're going to save it somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and browse. And I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm going to find ACT right here. And then I'm going to do 2021. That's where I'm going to save it. So just wherever you save it on your desktop. Oops. Yeah, I'm going to save it here under ACT task. I'm going to call it, go ahead and call this Woodlawn. See, I already had another one that I uploaded for Woodlawn. So I'm going to do another one. So Woodlawn SDU 2 seniors. And then today's date, I'm just going to go ahead, and you don't have to name it like this, it's however you want to name it. But since I'm doing an example, I'm going to go ahead and name it by the school and the second file I'm uploading. All right, right here, you have to make sure, see where it says file, save as type? It has to be CSV. So click on this, scroll down until you see CSV, comma, delimited. So click on this, it's got to say this. All right, so then you're going to save. Click on save. Okay, so now once you save, I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. Now here's how you're going to upload it. You're going to go to home. I'm sorry, you can go to setup, excuse me. Go to setup, and before we go to setup, make sure you're in PA Next. You have to be in PA Next. Make sure right here it says ACT 2022, and make sure you're in the right school. So I'm doing Woodlawn, so let's go ahead and click on Woodlawn. So make sure it says ACT Spring 2022, Woodlawn High School, if that's your school, whatever school you're at, make sure it says your school. Then you're going to go to Setup. Go to Setup, then click on Import Export Data. All right, so now you're going to go to, so I'm going to go ahead and click this little box here next to Woodlawn. And then I'm going to go see where it says Start. You're going to click on Import Export Data again. And then you're going to see this page. You're going to go to Type. You're going to choose, make sure you're choosing the correct one. So you have to choose the Student Registration Import. That's one you have to choose. So choose Student Registration Import. And then you're going to choose your file. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to choose my file. I'm going to find my file. So it was under, let's see, let me go back to ACT and go to where I put it. And let me find Woodlawn High School SDU number 2. So that's this one. So I'm going to click on it. You can double click, or you can click once and then click on open. So if you click like this, see it shows up. Click on open, and now you see it here. Okay. Now what I would do is I would put, it's going to be sent to your email, but if you want to send it to your backup, then put the backup's email address in here. All right, so just, okay. So I'm going to send it to myself and then click on process. That's the next step. Click on process. So click on process, and then this is going to show up. So it's going to, so notice I already had 2 files uploaded. Well, 1 file uploaded up here. See, it says SDU1 seniors. And then I just uploaded a second one. It says pending. Now, you see up here where it has those 2 curved arrows? Just click on refresh and let's see what happens. So notice it says I uploaded 3 records and all 3 were successful. So there were no errors. Okay, so you can, right here, you can download the students created. So this file contains all the students that were created. And then you can download the file that you used for the import as well. Okay, so if you do have some errors though, it will be down here. The errors will be down here, and you would have to go through the process to correct them. Now, let me show you something else before I end this. Okay, so this file we talked about in a previous Q&A office hours. So you may recall that we did discuss adding and uploading students to the Sdu file. So here's the template, but I already sent that to you. Yeah, if you go to the table, if you right-click and open a new window, this is a table you'll see. So remember, only use the required field. So notice date of birth is required. See where it says required? Organization codes required, last names required, first names required, grade level, date of birth, and notice it must be in this format. The student list SID is required. The test code's required. So only do MC. Don't do MW because we don't do writing. And delivery format is either P for paper or the letter O for online, and that's all that's required. Okay. The next thing I want you to look at is, I'm going to scroll down all the way at the bottom. So let me just show you something. Oops, that's not the one. So let me go back. All right, so let's go back to this one. Okay, so we just looked at the table right here. So notice those are the required fields right here. It even tells you right here, those are the required fields. If you scroll down, there's a training tutorial. If this video did not help you at all, then go to the training tutorial. It tells you how to import your file, which was in this video that I just showed you. I want to go all the way at the bottom, and it says this, understanding import error messages. So for clarification of the import error messages, refer to this table. If you can't resolve the errors with this table, please contact ACT Customer Care at this 800 number, extension 2800. So don't email them. It's best to call them. And they're pretty good now at responding quickly to phone calls. But this table, if you go to this table, I'm going to open a new window. Let's see what's going to show up. All right, so it's import error message table. So so if you get an error, then these could be reasons why. They're telling you the error message and then how to resolve it. All right, so if you do get errors, make sure you're using the import error messages table. So remember, they're required. So if you get an error with the first name, it may be that the name has too many characters, or you used an inappropriate or an invalid character. All right, so always go and look at the resolution, how to resolve that error. Okay, so that will be the end of this presentation on how to complete and import the Sdu file.